Bonjour et bienvenue au French Tech Podcast. Welcome to the French Tech Podcast, still here covering the Big Data World Conference in Singapore. Very happy to welcome two new guests, Quinn and Nelia, who both work at both Miro and work for an organization called She Loves Data. I could ask the both of you, starting with you, Quinn, to quickly introduce yourselves.
Yeah, sure. It's a pleasure. So my name is Queen. I'm working with Miro, which is a company that provides the customer data platform, a new technology for managing customer data. So I'm basically managing the consulting and client services function as a director at Miro, and at the same time, I volunteer my time as an instructor for topics around data analytics and data science and MarTech, marketing technology, for this organization called She Loves Data.
Okay, so I also work in Miro. My first job is data engineer in Miro, and my job basically is about building data pipelines, implementing CDP services. Our platform is about, and the second one is volunteering. I consider it my second job, kind of. It is non-profit organization. It is completely volunteer based. She loves data, and I used to be leader of Untitled Chapter, and a few months ago I switched to global operations because we found another beautiful Singapore leader.
Oh, that's terrific. Could I ask you to tell me a little bit more about what the mission statement of She Loves Data is?
Yeah, of course. So She Loves Data for us is really about diversity. Our co-founders for She Loves Data, they have many years in data integration, data background, working in data before it became cool, right? For them, what they have seen in terms of like talking to people and in terms of actually hiring is that there are not enough diversity in the field, and the most immediate thing that we can tackle in terms of diversity is really to be able to open up this opportunity for more women, in tech and in data. So that's how they 3 years ago, actually it's exactly 3 years ago, they set out to start with the very first Data Girls workshop, and that's introduction to data, just to equip basic skills on data analysis, so that people can really see that, okay, these are the basic skills. If it's something that you are interested in, you can find out more and you can maybe start your career in data. So that's how we started.
And do women necessarily need to come from a technical background to get started in data?
Absolutely not. We have women from very different industries. Many of them are from marketing, but we have also from HR, from finance. I myself came from finance background, and I started like a year ago to work with data. So we welcome women from all the ages, all industries, all experiences, because everything we're talking about is diversity. And we even run some meetups which are gender inclusive, so because we think that he loves data too, it's not only about women.
I love that, yeah.
And because we think that the more diverse your group is, the better the job will be done.
That's a very interesting insight, and it's something that I've been talking to many people about recently.
Yep.
How diversity is about inclusion, and about how inclusion is important to have more, well, I would say, better responses to business needs, right? To come up with better answers to problems that you're facing as a business. Yeah.
Absolutely. In my role, I actually do a lot of consulting for clients who are looking into implementing certain data strategy, and it's very interesting because we always notice that no matter how smart of a group that you're talking to, even if you're talking to like C-level, decision makers, you're always missing something if you're just talking to like one function, because like someone would be forgetting like, IT will need to have to be here, the actual users will need to be here for this discussion. So when we talk about diversity, it's everything, that diversity in age, in gender, in the roles, in the experience as well. So that helps us to basically make a better decisions at the end of the day. Yeah.
Now, you've mentioned that you have a global presence, right? You're not just here in Singapore, not just in the region. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Sure, and with pleasure, because we are very proud that we have a global presence. And Singapore is kind of base operation for us because first workshop happened here, and our global team, like core team and our co-founders, based here. But after this, we opened chapters in Australia, to Sydney, in Melbourne, New Zealand. We are well presented in Asia, like Hong Kong, Jakarta, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. We even have chapter
South
in
Africa.
South Africa.
South
Yes,
Africa,
that's
wow.
We had
exciting,
one
yeah.
shop, yes, and we already had 2 workshops, and we are super proud about this in USA, in Los Angeles.
Wow. Just to get a sense of scale, how many women participate in these workshops on a yearly basis?
It's an amazing question, and I think that we don't have like the exact numbers for now, but the latest number that our community is about 13,000 plus.
Wow, that's
It's
amazing.
not about participating, it's more about people who are following us in Facebook, who are interested, because we have communities like online community as well. We have very active social media. So here we're counting all people who participated in our workshops, who are following us, who are actively posting some news or discussing something in our Facebook and LinkedIn group. So yeah, it's quite a huge community. And to be honest, when I myself joined She Loves Data like 2 years ago, we were presented only in 2 countries. It was Singapore,
Yeah.
Wow.
in Australia, and we grow up like exponentially, and it's really even a little bit scary what's ahead of us, you know.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
very
It's
impressive.
it's I think the community kind of just there's this organic growth just kind of keep feeding on itself, because when we started we were planning around which workshop and how many we would have a year, and every single workshop after we finish we have ladies who come up to us and say, "Okay, I want to volunteer, I come from this country, and can we bring it to our country?" So places like Los Angeles or South Africa were not destinations that we had in mind to open up to, but we just had such great volunteers who really wanted to bring this community to those places. So at a certain point, really, like the organic growth just kind of exploded, and it's really amazing.
That's fantastic. You mentioned the word community.
Yeah.
That implies that that people are getting together, providing different value other than just the skills and the courses that you might offer, the workshops that you organize. Do you find that that people who have followed your courses tend to stay in touch, tend to stick together, tend to communicate, help each other out?
Oh, yes, absolutely. When we started with Intro to Data, so that's a basic workshop for data beginners, we even started having people who, went to the workshop and then form study groups so that they can continue to study together, because these are data enthusiasts and, they want to continue. Our goal for us right now is really about reaching out to more people to provide the basic level skills and some advanced skills, but the community really is just taking on itself to take their learning journey further. Me, for myself, as an instructor, I do tend to see similar faces, one event after another, so we really can see that people do come back and become friends and encourage each other in their journey to in the data industry. Yeah,
It's great to hear that people are so engaged in the community.
yeah, it's amazing.
So, what's one of, amidst this amazing growth, if you had to choose one, what's the thing that you're most excited about at this time?
For me, I think the most exciting thing for now it is to see how many people are, how to say, like they make their dreams come true, and and it is not because it's not something like like some fluffy things to say, because we have women who came to us, attended 1 or 2 workshops, and said, what? Like, I can do this and I can switch my career path. I know what skills I can learn, and then and they had some kind of like finance or maybe even literature major, but they taught themselves, and then they're working right now as a data scientist. And then I meet them and they're like, what? Remember this workshop? I I attended 2 years ago, I did this. And to be honest, for me, it's one of the most important things, because when you see the result of your job, maybe not right now, but in a year or something, I myself, the result of the Shillov's data, kind of. I attended first workshop, and after this, it was the first step for me
Right.
of switching career path. And for me, yes, this is the most exciting part.
That's fantastic.
Great.
Is there any particular success story, any particular story of one particular person that stands out for you?
Do I have to choose one?
Well,
Because, well, there are many success stories. Even Nelia, who's sitting in front of me, is herself a success story, because she joined the workshop and, she ultimately joined our company and, started as a junior data analyst, and now she's going into an even more technical role, which is data engineer. So the learning journey never ends, right? And then now she's an instructor for She Loves Data. So that's, in itself is really amazing. I think I have also talked to a lot of people who attended our workshop, and it's just a short time later. I remember this girl who attended our workshop with Suteja, if you
Yes.
remember. And so we run this our workshop every few months. So this girl attended one workshop. A couple of months later, we run the same workshop again. And she came back as a teaching assistant. And she told me that, you know what, I just joined this, one of the very good bank in Singapore. I just joined this bank as a data analyst. And like 2 months ago, I was actually starting to learn R, which is, the one of the languages that we use for data analysis. So it's amazing how fast people actually make this kind of transition, and I feel that sometimes they just need kind of a push to start, and that's what we see a lot. So if you ask me for one story, I'm afraid that I can't because there's just so many
So
amazing
many.
stories out there. We have women we had like a pregnant lady, heavily pregnant, who came to join the workshop because, like, why not? That's the best time to learn, right?
right.
I've had intro to data workshop where I had older ladies who had a hard time even like getting her computer started and figuring out how Excel really works, but she wants to learn data, and I'm like, yes, let me help you. So the diversity is really amazing.
That's
and
fantastic. And that
all
speaks
these
to
things,
the
really stand
aspect
out
of
to me.
inclusion that we discussed earlier.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's really
Yeah.
fantastic.
Because we even had women. Remember, Jana was telling me about, like, I think it was in Australia, when ladies were coming and saying that, you know what, I want to learn data because my daughter is data analyst,
Oh yes.
and I myself is
that's really
creating
cool.
person. I work in creative something. I have no even idea. I don't know how computer works. I don't know what is it all about. But I just want to know what my daughter is doing, and I want to understand her, and I want to speak at the same language. And for me, it's good enough. Okay, let me help you, because I think that if we can help, we will definitely do this, and we are just happy to see people that they make some steps, to be a little bit happy, a little bit get better jobs, and to have more friends.
So data to improve people's lives and bring people closer
Yes.
together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to come out and talk to me.
Thank you.
I
This
hope
is
you enjoyed the
amazing.
conference.
We do.
We really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Something very exciting is going on the stage, so
Yeah.
I'll let you go so you can go check it out. Thank you very much.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.